There's more! It was awful! I'm back! CGI shit!
I rest my case.
It was fucking horrible!
Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome back to another opening night. This is the second take I've had to do this, because I was recording this at first, and then my memory card ran out, so I just erased all the footage, and I just had to reset, but that's okay. Today we're doing a fan-requested episode of opening night, something that I've been wanting to get to a while. I'm trying to catch up on things. I was going to do one last week, but we've had terrible weather conditions. Like, the other day, we had, like, bipolar weather. Mother Nature was on a tangent. It was, like, windy, then it was snowing, then it was raining, then it was thunderstorms, now it's sunny again. She can't make up her mind. So, but now we're on a clear day. I've got some time to finally catch up. And this fan request was one by Hipster Hoovie and Jedi, who is somebody we've collaborated for a while on. And he suggested I watch a film that I've never heard of, but I know a lot of people have been covering lately. Namely, Doug Walker covered this movie, and I thought, okay, I'll give my shot at this. And that being Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Now, you're probably thinking, what the hell is this thing? It is a satirical parody of the Kung Fu exploitation films of the 60s and 70s. So, i.e., great choreography, great fight scenes, but is the catalyst of bad dubbings. It even makes Godzilla dubs look like a day in the park, like they look solid. This is the pinnacle of, like, bad dubbing and where all the jokes come from, are these type of films. On top of that, like, I mean, I've watched a few of them. Like, anything from Shaw Brothers is phenomenal. Anything Bruce Lee, obviously, is great. Enter the Dragon is my first one. I still have to watch a few others. I don't count Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or House of Flying Daggers. Those are just masterpieces of film in comparison. And they're more modern, so they feel a lot more like quality and well-kept films. But with Kung Pao Enter the Fist, this is a parody satire of these type of movies, down to the point they actually use footage from, I think, 2 other films to tell its story, and it's kind of interesting how they were able to get the rights to make a parody, which is hilarious. But this movie, oh, excuse me, is written, directed, and starring, I believe directing and writing, but mainly starring a guy by the name of Steve Oedekerk. Now, Steve Oedekerk I've been a fan of. I know a lot of people probably know him, and I know him from as the creator of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, a great cartoon on Nickelodeon that I used to watch. Was relatively funny, was relatively creative and entertaining. On top of that, it was one of the first real computer animated shows that really pushed it next to Reboot. But I will say it's funny how, like, the first movie, though it's like the animation's awful, it got nominated for Best Animated Feature. It was the first one's nominated. It was beat out by Shrek, though, but to the point. Steve Oedekerk made the show. He also, I'm a huge more fan of his work on the Thumb parody movies. Namely Thumb Wars, Thumbtanic, Bat Thumb, like, you get the picture. This guy is good at satire and parody, and he's sort of my Weird Al Yankovic in a way. Even though I like Weird Al, I never fully grew up with him until, like, much later in my life. I've come to appreciate his work, but Steve Oedekerk was sort of my Weird Al in terms of parody. And so, with that being said, this movie is actually, he's playing the Chosen One, the main hero figure who has to go on this adventure and journey and do all this martial arts stuff in areas I'm surprised they made work. At first I'm thinking, okay, well, clearly they took footage from this other movie and obviously badly dubbed it for parody. Like, there are some great, like, lines in the dubbing that make this thing just so goddamn funny. But on top of that, in terms of the new footage, I'm thinking, okay, well, they probably shot Steve Oedekerk in new scenes with new actors that doubled for the old actors because they're using, like, 20-year-old footage at this point. And I'm thinking, so it's like a Godzilla movie in a way. like one of the American international releases. But surprisingly, no. Not only did they incorporate Steve into these scenes from these older movies, they were able to like do a lot of digital trickery in terms of almost deepfake technology to make him interact with other characters. And you could tell there was I mean, like, at first, there's sometimes you can tell the green screen's pretty obvious, but then there's other times I'm thinking, that's pretty convincing effects. Like, they had a budget on the special effects for this. This was done by 20th Century Fox. Now, they didn't have a shit ton of money, obviously. Max for this, I think they probably spent maybe about $2-3 million. I don't know. I don't know how well this did in theaters either. But to the point is, they did pretty impressive job with the effects and all that. And the dubbing's made for satire, so of course they're able to improv and make some jokes. But in terms of just the effects, I was genuinely impressed with how much they were able to get away with this. Now, I will admit, yes, they had extra budget on the special effects because they had, like, the CGI cow. I think all this animation was done by Blue Sky. I can tell it's very Blue Sky animated. Like, this is, like, I think before Ice Age. I think I even saw the Ice Age scroll go by. I don't know. But to the point, this movie had some money to make this parody work. And in a way, it does. This movie is genuinely hilarious. Like, much like Steve's other films and content, he's good with his humor. Visual humor and what the jokes are and what the punchline is. He gets it to the point very quickly, and I thoroughly enjoyed this movie for that. The kung fu scenes, the martial arts scenes, are obviously, again, satire, down to it looking cheap as hell. But on top of that, like, again, you know, I'd never seen the movies they were based on, so I have no clue what their origins and original context is, but for what I've seen, again, they're not that bad. They're just used for comedy here, and it's funny. It is genuinely a funny film. I saw this kind of on a whim, just again, it was like an hour and a half, and actually surprisingly without credits. This movie's like an hour and 12 minutes, which is good, because you know what? Steve Odekirk, I like when he works on a more shorter scale in terms of timing, so it makes watching his stuff a lot more fun to enjoy because they go by so quickly. But again, the jokes here really work, and I love the fact that I think he dubbed every character in this movie, because he's even dubbing the female characters to hilarious effect. Like, the voice he chose for the main female lead in this is Miss Piggy, and there's something about that that's just so funny to me. It just sounds like Miss Piggy meets Beaker from the Muppets. So I thought that was hilarious, and so that was really good. There's obviously some music choices here that don't really fit the subject, but they're made for parody. A lot of stuff from like the early 2000s. You can tell this is very early 2000s humor. But again, like, this is a genuinely funny film. Like, this is like an Austin Powers movie. It's very parody satire, but with less of the budget. Like, this is clearly using stock footage from another movie, and I kind of enjoy it for that. Like, there's something about filmmakers who use stock footage, but if they use it to an effect that works, you can tell a story without spending too much on scale. You can literally just use whatever you got. And this movie kind of delivered on that. I was thoroughly impressed with this. I had a lot of fun. I really don't have much to say other than I would recommend this, Kung Pao Enter the Fist. It is worth seeking. I don't know if it's on Disney Plus because of the Fox merger. I don't know if it's on there. If it is, let me know. But if it is, go check it out there. Find it on home video if you can. It's a good film. It's a solid comedy, and I give it a good maybe, like, you know, 7 out of 10. Maybe I'll come back to it someday and watch it more, but this was a good one, like, first viewing of this. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would recommend it. If you're a fan of satire parody comedies, this is up your alley. It's up there with Spaceballs. It's up there with Austin Powers. It's a good time. So let me know your thoughts on Kung Pao Enter the Fist in the comments below. Also, I should point out, yes, the Kung Fu Cow. The Cow Fu. I was just, like, at that point, I was just like, what the fuck? I don't have much to say about this. It's just a CG cow that is meant to be played as bad, but it's funny. It felt like a commercial almost, but I thoroughly thought that scene was funny. But anyway, yeah, let me know your thoughts on this movie in the comments below. This is a relatively short opening night. Support our Patreon, obviously. Just $1 more will get you early access to all of our content as well as other special features. Should say we have 2 opening nights on there right now. that are actually Star Wars related, because we're going to put them out in May. But you can see them right now on Patreon a month in advance. Plus maybe something else coming a month in advance, which is totally up to you guys. You guys can maybe go check that out. But, yeah, that's all I gotta say about Kung Pao Enter the Fist. It's a good time, and I don't know what I'm reviewing next for opening night. I am trying to crank these out as quick as possible for more content for you guys. We just hit a bit of a snag this week due to weather and also fatigue. I've actually been suffering that a little bit lately, but that's okay. I'm still on a roll. Like, I've been working hard on Star Wars. I actually have episode 2 I'm currently knee-deep in right now in terms of special effects, but I'll keep you guys posted when I can. But until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off, saying, go check out Kung Pao Enter the Fist, and go fight a CG Kung Fu cow. I don't know, this movie was funny. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.